This is an old saying that you don't hear so much anymore, but I think it's still true because it's a golden statement. Yeah. Great ideas or great organizations think global, but exist and act local.
Yes.
PMI is a great organization, but understanding that it theoretically has an office. I don't think they even have the office there in King of Prussia somewhere in Pennsylvania. It doesn't do much for you. I mean, it's a great organization, has a lot of literature, it can help me with certification, but if I want to feel a community of practice always has to be local.
Yeah.
I don't know if you still do this, but I remember back in the day when we were a young chapter, some of the bigger chapters like London and Germany Frankfurt would usually, with Thomas Valenta, we used to, great guy, they would come to me and we had a big mouth. We were good, but we always had great ideas and people
were like, Austrian.
Yeah, we were rolling their eyes a little bit at us, but they often in the conversation, the standard conversation between chapter presidents would be, so how many members do you have?
The usual. How many members? How many volunteers?
And I used to love that question because I would kick everybody, not literally, but conceptually in the nuts by saying, I don't know, and I don't care. And people would say, but you're violating your... I said, you need to ask me the more pertinent question is how many project management interested people I have in my database. It's 5,000. How many members do you have? Because one of the reasons that made us want to create PMI back then is, I mean, there was a well and healthy PMA organization, well established within Austria. But I remember when I reached out to them as a junior project manager, they were like, "Who are you? We're not interested." And I was like, "This is exclusive. It's not inclusive." Yep. And I believe that a community of practice, and you said it before, Andy, so you're in that spirit. You said, listen, project management is a multi-generational thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's not just the old farts that think they know it. We need to have we want those students, we want those project assistants, we want those people who say, you know, I want to be a project manager. And that's the spirit that we back then brought into the chapter. I think most chapters live that spirit. Of course, the one of the metrics is your membership, and I know that Austria in the meantime already has a substantial membership as well.
With actually a record at the end of the year.
Yeah. What I find a little bit of a pity is that PMI needs to reiterate this as well. It used to be one of the metrics that PMI internationally used to share. I think that through the different changes of leadership, the new leadership didn't quite understand how important that is. It's just as important as how many PMP members we have. The health of PMI as an international community is contingent not only on its membership, but how many people it speaks to, how many people it certifies. It's the stakeholder concept.
Yeah, yes.
And I think it's important. And I think if you live that spirit locally, people naturally understand why they should become a member.
Yeah. For example, we do academic outreach is one of the things we're doing here in Vienna, for example, with the BFI Fachhochschule.
Yeah.
And we have volunteers presenting there, having lectures as well, and even courses there, and we're collaborating closely with them. That is one thing. We work as well with other academic institutions, so it is important to bring the new people in. This is the future, and again, the offering, and that is as well something I've seen over the last years, PMI getting their head around, that they have present the whole journey from start of project management, being in school or at university, or as a very young professional, through the mid-level PMP, which was usually bread and butter, and then as well to later stages, how to support the different needs in the different, because they are different.
And like I said, I'm 100% behind the chapter concept, and I think PMI needs to learn also to promote that a little bit more. They used to in the past, because in reality, on a local level, you can have a big impact. I mean, I think the biggest highlight during my time as chapter president is the last symposium we did. We did a symposium in Vienna where we had 36 expert tracks from different companies throughout Austria and beyond. We had 1,200 attendees. We had 7 expert things. We had Vranitsky as a keynote speaker. We had Tom DeMarco as a keynote speaker. We had the Huber Boom as a final speaker. We had awards. And we had 1,200 people there over 2 days. And at that time, I know that the European Symposium is large enough. Yeah. They had a European Symposium and I think 90% of the attendees were from Austria. Mm-hmm. And not far away in Budapest, they had the European PMI Symposium that had 500 people in attendance, 90% not from Hungary. So that was the contrast. I think it's changed a little bit. Yeah. And I'm not doing this to be mean-spirited or something. I'm just saying I'm 100% advocate. I believe that the real power of PMI is at its grassroots. I think the roots nourish the tree. And I wish you lots of success and luck. I'm going to get more involved now, or at least as a member, and start attending meetings again. I've been away for many years, but I'm back in Austria, and I'll definitely come and see how your baby and my baby is doing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And, it's the 25th year that this is up and running. So we have an anniversary to celebrate, and you've been 11 years out of the 25 years. Yeah. So nowadays with term limited, things that will go. We've got more farmers, so the maximum I can get to is 4 years, 2 times 2 years.
I think I once overheard that time CEO of PMI, not in a nice way, when he saw me kind of smile and said, "I was the Emperor of Austria." I'm like, I didn't like that term. That's not what I was going for. But yeah. So I wish you lots of luck, and you've got an event coming up on the 27th, which I'll be attending. You've got a great guest coming there as well.
Yes, it is Americo Pinto. He's the managing director and global director of the PMO Global Alliance, which has been integrated into PMI last year, which has been the biggest organization globally to drive the interest and as well content for PMOs. This is not part of PMI. Actually, 2 days ago on the 4th, the first PMO practice guide was published by PMI together with the PMI PMO-CP certification, social certification as well with the training course. So basically, they're firing on all cylinders on that subject. America is basically the mastermind behind that one. From Brazil, great speaker. I've seen him multiple times, so really great speaker. And he's doing his first presentation after publishing of the practice guide of the new certification. For the first time, he will speak in Austria.
How long is he here for?
A day.
Okay.
A day or so. And, but if you look for guests, maybe we can make that happen.
Yeah. I definitely want to come see him in person, but maybe it would be an opportunity also to, if he has time though, maybe to also invite him into the podcast, but we'll see if we can make it
with him. And I think that he's one, if not the top speaker when it comes to PMO and the future of PMO in the world. And we're lucky to have him here in Austria.
Look forward to that.
We will have that one at Frequentis. Frequentis is hosting on the 27th of February in the evening. So you can sign up via the PMI Austria website. Good. It will be a good one. Good. It will be great.
Dirk, it was a pleasure having you in my podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for the good work you do. Thanks for sharing your expertise. We're going to be putting Dirk's information down into the information. So if you want to reach out to him over LinkedIn, become a chapter president, not a chapter president, a chapter member, whether it is in your local city or in Austria. I'm sure you can always
volunteer.
Welcome. Come to the events and let's continue being that community of practice. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Dirk,
you.
Thank you very much.